One hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Take a moment to just breathe. Allow yourself to arrive. If you haven't taken my class yet, my name is Bree, and we are moving through about a 40-minute flow. Continue to really arrive in the way of the breath and feel the support of the earth beneath you. Lengthen your breath in both directions. And as you breathe, encourage the breath to go deep and wide into the lungs. And breathing the breath into the back of the body and to the sides of your body. In this next 40 minutes or so, really the type of breath you're working on is a 3-dimensional inhale and a full emptying of the lungs on the exhale. Take about 3 more cycles of breath to simply arrive on your mat today. And begin to release any breath out of your lungs. HA. Inhale fully. And HA, let it go. And begin to straighten out through your legs. Straighten out through your arms overhead and interlace your fingers. Take a big yawn through your body. Point through your toes as you stretch your arms above head. Inhale. And as you exhale, bend your knees. Grab a block if you have one. And place the block on the thinnest or medium setting in between your thighs. The knees are still bent. Place your heels below your knees. Pull your arms in by the rib cage. Drive into your heels and inhale, lift up to a bridge pose, glute bridge. Exhale, lower your hips down. So we're just kind of driving into the legs to start. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Option to add some flair with the arms. Inhale, lift, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, lower, bring your arms by your sides. 2 more, inhale, lift up. Follow the breath down, exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, slowly lower. Now keep your hands down. Inhale, lift up. Option to interlace your hands behind your back here. Drive into the heels and hug them back towards your hips. Feel the backs of the legs engage. Untuck your chin from your chest. You could lift your heels and push into the toes or the big toe kind of ball of the foot area. Squeeze the block nice and strong. From the pelvis, expand out long through the legs. Notice if you lift your heels up where the strength builds. And then if you ground your heels and lift the toes, where is the strength building? Push the shoulder blades onto the back of the ribs for 1 more final breath. And exhale, release. Move your block off to the side for now. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice rock up to a seat. As you land in a seat, extend out long through, kind of half bend, half straight knee. Bring the left hand to the outside edge of your right foot. Begin to press your foot firmly into your hand. And at the same time, pull your arm back into space. And breathe deep and full into your back left lung. And release, second side. Opposite hand to the outside edge of the opposite foot. Push your foot forward. It's like you're accelerating on the gas. The ball of the foot comes forward. Pull your right arm back and notice any sensations building around the shoulder blades. The muscles are called your rhomboids. Breathe there. And release. Bring your legs off to the side. Come to a tabletop position. And your tabletop spread nice and wide through your fingers. Stack the wrists underneath the shoulders. Pull back through each and every finger pad and root down through the perimeter of the palms. The knees will stack below the hips. Drive your knees into the mat and create a little bit of an untuck of your tailbone. Inhale, tilt your sit bones all the way up. Now melt through your heart, cow spine. Wrap the triceps in. Exhale, round. Press your hands into the mat and puff up into the back body as you tuck your tail down for cat spine. One more like that. Inhale, vertebra by vertebra. Travel your way all the way through to cow spine. Pull the shoulders up and back, kind of broaden through your collarbones. Exhale, round. Core is strong and engaged as you puff up into the back body, cat. Now come to a more neutral position. Push your knees into the mat and away from one another. Ground your forearms, elbows below the shoulders. As you drive the knees into the mat and push them away, untuck through your tail so you have a nice anterior tilt in your pelvis. That's going to stay the same the whole time. Now, some shoulder movements here. Begin to elevate your shoulders, shift your shoulders up by your ears, a shrug. Melt your heart, send your nipple line closer towards the earth. Pull your shoulders down and away from your ears. Feel the sides of the neck get longer and puff up into the back body. Shoulder blades kind of fan wide on your back body. Protraction. Elevate your shoulders, shrug the shoulders. Retract your shoulders, nipple line comes down towards the earth. Pull your shoulders down and away from the ears, depression of the shoulder, and puff up into the back body, protraction. Now do that same cycle, but more in a circle. So you'll take a few circles in that direction that you're going. And then maybe you rewind those circles and take them in the other direction. And land back through your neutral forearm tabletop. Walk your knees back one at a time. Ground your hips, Sphinx pose. Pull your left elbow in just a tad, or your left arm, forearm in. Pull your right heel towards your sit bone. Reach around with your right hand to grab your right foot and pull the heel towards the bum. Reach for the big toe side of your foot if possible. Create a soft little kick of the foot into the hand as you pull your heel towards your bum. Find your breath. Release, second side. Reach your opposite hand up and around to grab for the foot, thigh stretch. And begin to release your foot all the way back down to the earth. Soften your chest down to the ground. Bring your arms to a cactus shape. Begin to hike the right knee all the way up towards the right hip. Both arms are staying at a cactus in this moment. Walk your right hand fingertips in. Pull the right shoulder in. Pivot to the outside edge of your left hip. You can let your left head rest on the earth or lift your skull. And breathe. Notice the stretch around the chest. Breathe into the collarbone and around that left collarbone. On your exhalation, come back through center, second side. Cactus the right arm, bring your left knee up towards the hip. Heavy your left hip, walk your left hand fingertips in, pull the left shoulder into the socket. And as you're ready, pivot. Plant your left foot behind you. Option 2, lift your skull or relax your skull towards the earth. And deep, full breaths here. And come all the way back through center. Bring your hands by your chest. Inhale and rise up through a cobra pose. Cobra pose, hips will be heavy. Pull your shoulders back. Press the tops of the feet down. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, rise up, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale, folds. Inhale, rise up, cobra. From cobra, option for up dog, pull the heart through. Only the hands and the feet are touching the earth. Begin to tuck your toes, send your hips all the way up and back, down dog. Start to pedal it out. And just start to notice how you feel since you've showed up on your mat today. Starting to really engage with the rhythm of your breath. Stretch through the body. And sometimes it takes just a few moments to breathe and to call in presence for us to be able to have an energetic shift, shifting into the way that we want to engage with our lives. Now begin to make your feet as wide as your mat. Bend your knees a little bit. Wrap your fingers underneath your mat. Your thumb will stay on top so you're holding the rubber sticky mat. Flare through your toes. Squeeze your outer shins in. Squeeze your forearms in. Lift the head of your arm bones up and away from the earth. Wrap your triceps down. Okay, so I know that's a lot, but stick with me here with the knees bent. Tilt your sit bones high to the sky. With your shoulders lifted, press the shoulder blades onto the back of the ribs, working to find a little bit of pressure as you melt your heart. Breathe. And begin to ground your hands now. Walk your hands all the way back. If you have a block, bring that block with you. Check your foundation. Line up the outside edge of your feet with the long edge of the mat. Bend your knees a smidge and hinge your hips way back into space. Counter reach your hands forward onto a block. Excuse me. Or onto fingertips. Squeeze your outer shins in towards the midline like magnets. Widen and broaden through the upper inner thighs. Breathe deep, full breaths. Again, think about breathing three-dimensionally, wide and deep into the sides and the back of the body. Inhale, halfway lift, glide your hands up your shins, find length. Exhale, pour your heart down, fold. Press into the earth. Inhale and circle sweep, reach all the way up and high to the sky. Exhale, bring the palms to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, grab your right wrist and side bend up and over towards the left. Find a nice little tug here. Press into the earth. Inhale and come back through center. Switch your clasp and side bend up and over the other way. Inhale, come through center, release the clasp, lengthen up through the thumb and the middle finger. Start by driving your heels into the mat and push them away from one another. Exhale, cactus, open up. Bring the tops of the ears back. The gaze slightly shifts upward. Inhale, pull navel to spine or reach your arms high. Again, standing back bend, cactus your arms. Press your shoulder blades onto the back of the ribs. Think elbow tips forward, hands farther back. Inhale, reach your arms high. And as you exhale, cactus, tops of the ears, come back with the curve of the upper back. So you're not overextending your neck. It kind of follows what the upper back is doing. Inhale and reach your arms all the way up and high. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Sink your hips down. Drive the heels into the mat. Push them away from one another. Reach way forward. Grab an imaginary pull-up bar. Take an inhalation. Push the heels away from each other and exhale, cactus. Pull the elbows down by the ribs. Inhale, reach your arms high. Bring your hips maybe a little lower if you'd like. Exhale, cactus. One more like that. Inhale and reach up high. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, bring your arms behind you. Interlace your fingers, lift up through the heart space. Breath in. Exhale, bound forward, fold. As you forward fold, lift your shoulders up and drop your arms over the back body. Now, if you're really tight, your forward fold might look like a little bit like a halfway lift. That's okay. And you might compress all the way down, belly towards thigh. Breathe. Release your hands. Move your block out of the way if you were using it. Walk your hands all the way forward. Land in a plank pose. We're going to do a bit of a moving plank. So start with strengthening your core. Give like all of the muscles around the core and really the legs as well a hug. And lower your left forearm down, right forearm down. Push your left hand into the earth and come back up plank. So you're moving from a forearm plank to a plank. Take 3 leading with your left arm, and then lead with the right arm for the other 3. Next time you come down to a forearm plank, stay there, hold it, tug the elbows back, breathe. Release your hips down, Sphinx pose. We were just here earlier, tug the elbows back. Pull your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Bring your chin down towards your collarbone. Bring your left ear over towards your left shoulder and lean your skull up and back. And then just rewind, take that nice neck circle in the other direction. And land with your skull through center. Come all the way down onto your belly. Bring your hands forward. I'm going to have my head lifted here so you can hear me better. Come a little bit forward with your fingertips. Tuck your toes and roll your inner thighs in towards the midline. Squeeze your inner thighs towards one another. Bring the big toes to touch and lift your feet off of the mat to a hover. Squeeze your inner thighs. Keep your knees down. Inhale and lift your cactus arms up. Shoulders lift. Head lifts. Take an inhalation here. Exhale, lower the fingertips to touch the earth and the toes to tap. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down, tap. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower and tap. Inhale, rise up, find that length. Exhale, folds. Press the tops of the toes down now, strong legs. Bring your attentive fingertips wide. So the fingertips are on the mat, or the thumb is on the mat, but the fingertips are actually off of the mat. Inhale, rise up, gecko pose. Lift the shoulders, the head. Wrap your elbows in towards the rib cage. Take an inhalation. And as you exhale, dip your left shoulder down and take a little peek over the right. Inhale, travel your way back through center. Exhale, dip your right shoulder down, take a little peek over the left. Inhale, travel back through center. Exhale all the way down to the earth. Stretch your arms back by your hips, pull the belly in. Inhale and rise up to a Shalabhasana. Lifting your arms and your legs simultaneously. Stay long through the sides of the neck so you're not hyperextending. There is length through your neck. Take another inhalation. Exhale, release. And bring your hands by your chest. Press your way up either through tabletop or straight through plank. And send your hips up and back to a downward facing dog. Breathe. Now in your down dog, go more of a neutral down dog. Allow your feet to be about hip distance. Spread through your toes. Little gentle bend in the knees. Stay strong through your hands, just like we did in tabletop when we started. Encourage your outer shins in towards the midline. Send your upper inner thighs higher to the sky. Lift your shoulders, and from the back of the heart, stretch out long through the arms, through the 4 corners of the hands into the earth. Inhale, reach your right leg high to the sky. Exhale, pull it in, knee towards nose, round. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, pull it in, knee towards nose, round. Plant your foot in between your hands, come onto fingertips, and straighten out through your front leg. Another option to use a block. You could have a block on the inside edge of your front foot. A water bottle works just as good if it's a nice thick one. I wouldn't say just as good, but it works. It will work. Push your right big toe mound down into the ground and pull back. And so I want to clarify, when I say big toe mound, that's not actually the toe, it's the part before the toe. You could lift your toes if you wanted to and pull back from really the ball of the foot. Engage through your left inner thigh and wrap your left inner thigh forward. Find your breath. Allow your breath to be a way to navigate your way into the postures and into more authentic and fruitful alignment for you and your body. Inhale, bend into your front knee. Bring the back knee to a hover. Pull your belly in, chest through, and palate back. Exhale, straighten and fold to a cat lunge. One more like that. Inhale, ripple forward through cow lunge. Exhale, straighten and fold, cat lunge. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend into your front knee. Squeeze the front heel back, the back toes forward. Twist, reach your right arm high to the sky. Take an inhalation. From your collarbones, expand out long through your arms. Exhale, ground your right hand. Push into your right foot as you step up, forward folds. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Grab your block if you have it. Sink your hips low and place your block in between your thighs. So chair pose, you can do this also very easily without a block. It just adds a little more strength. Push your heels into the mat and push them away from each other, just like we did in a standing cactus, but you're also squeezing the block at the same time. Take an inhalation. Exhale, tiptoe chair. Bring your arms behind you. Elevate your heels and squeeze your shins in. Inhale, ground your heels. Reach your arms up. Exhale, tiptoe chair. Inhale, ground the heels. Reach high. Exhale, tiptoe chair. Inhale, ground your heels and reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Move your block out of the way. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Step back to a plank. Inhale, shift your shoulders past your wrist. Exhale, lower down to a prone position on your belly. Extend your arms back. Stay strong through your legs. Cross your left ankle over your right. Interlace your fingers, left thumb on top, and inhale, rise up to a Shalabhasana with a little extra zest. Lift through the trunk and the legs, and you might not be able to lift as high. I definitely can't, not with this big bind. Take one more inhalation. Exhale, unwind. So we now change the cross. Right leg over left. Right thumb on top of left. Inhale and rise up to your Shalabhasana. And release. Bring your hands by your chest. Press your way up through a nice strong plank or through tabletop, and we all meet in Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg high to the sky. Keep your toes pointing straight down towards the earth. Exhale, travel your knee towards your nose, curl it in round. Inhale and reach it up and long. Exhale, knee towards nose, round. Plant your foot in between your hands and straighten out through your left knee. And pull the left hip back as the right hip wraps forward. And you can play with elevating your toes, but still pushing down through that left big toe mount. And breathe. Inhale, bend into your front knee. Bring the back knee to a hover cow lunge. Exhale, straighten and folds, cat lunge. Inhale, ripple it forward, cow lunge. Exhale, straighten and fold to a cat. Inhale to a halfway lift, taking all the rounding out of the spine, especially that low back. Exhale, bend into your front knee, scissor your legs and twist. Reach your left arm high to the sky. Lean back, drink a full breath in. Exhale, ground your left hand, push into your left foot as you step up to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. exhale, folds. Sink your hips low and rise up. Chair. This is going to be a bit of a dancing chair. Transfer your weight over to your right foot. Inhale. Exhale, pull your left heel towards your sit bone. Lift the knee back into space. It's kind of an awkward shape. You're toning your hamstring. Inhale, sit back, chair. Exhale, right heel pulls towards bum. You can move a little slower with this one, making sure you get it. Lift the knee away from the floor, that right knee. Exhale, back to chair. Now we move faster. Inhale, exhale, left heel to bum. Inhale, sit to chair. Exhale, right heel to bum. Inhale, chair. Exhale, left heel to bum. Inhale through your chair. And exhale, right heel towards bum. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, fold it down, forward folds. Inhale to a halfway lift and lengthen. As you exhale, fold, plant your hands, step your legs back to a plank pose. Start by lowering your knees. Crawl your fingertips forward. Anahatasana. Anahata in Sanskrit means heart. And so we're opening up the heart today. Heart melting pose. Lift your shoulders up as you walk. So fingers are forward. Lift the shoulders. Your hips are stacked roughly below or above the knees. Now as you lift your shoulders, wrap the outer edge of your arms down, triceps down. Pull the core in more than you may think. And then from that place, slowly allow your heart to descend towards the earth. Your back is much more bendy in the lower part, the lumbar spine. And so keep your awareness on staying engaged through the core to keep from overbending in your low back. And really just a gentle pressure encouraging your upper back to open as you come to this melting position. Drive your knees into the mat, push them away from one another. Keep that untuck of the tailbone. Breathe. Maybe eventually the nose or the crown of the head touches the earth. Send your hips all the way back. Balasana, child's pose. Join your hands in a prayer. Bend your elbows and bring the prayer behind your skull. Find your breath. Extend your arms forward, rise up through a tabletop. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up. Down dog. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Now bend your right knee and open up through your right hip. You could stay here or lower your left forearm down to the earth. Walk your right hand fingertips out just a smidge. Press your left shoulder blade onto the back of the ribs. Take a big circle with your right knee in one direction. Rewind, take that circle with your knee in the other direction. Inhale, straighten your right leg, square the right hip. Ground your right hand, lift your left elbow. Exhale, pull your right knee towards your right tricep and hold it here for a moment. Feel the core engage. Plant your right foot outside your pinky finger, lower your right knee. Reach your right arm up, 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 and around to grab for your foot. Pull your back heel towards your bum, twisted monkey. If it feels hard to get here and grab your foot, if you're close, placing a block underneath your left hand may help. It also may help to back the hips up, make like a heel to sit bone contact, and then encourage the left thigh bone closer towards the earth. We are in a twist and a back bend here. So pull the shoulders back. Wrap your left torso underneath your right. Take a full inhalation. Notice what you feel in your body, or observe what's going on in the feeling space of the mind. And release your foot, plant your right hand. Inhale, reach your right leg high, bend your right knee, open your hip. Option for Chamatkarasana. Come to the knife edge of your left foot, plant your right foot behind you, lift through your hips and lift through your heart. Reach forward. So you're like you're in wheel. You can even straighten out through the left knee if that feels okay for you. Ground your right hand. Reach the right leg high. Straighten out through your leg and ground your right foot next to the left. Second side. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Bend your left knee. Open up through your left hip. Ground your right forearm. Crawl your left hand fingertips out. Press your right shoulder blade onto the back of the ribs and find those nice big fluid circles. So your hip is going from open to close. Take the circle in the other direction. Inhale, straighten out through your left leg. Come back onto your hands. Exhale, pull your left knee towards your left tricep. Hold, breathe. Bring it up as high as you can, maybe even towards the armpit. Plant your left foot outside of your left pinky finger. Squeeze the legs towards each other. Have a pull in. Left toes are facing off to the left. Reach your left arm up, 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 and around. Pull your back heel towards your bum and grab for your foot. Now, if this feels really open for you, another option is coming down onto the forearm. Find your breath. If the breath is really fast, practice breathing in and out through your nose to slow down the rhythm of the breath. And begin to release your foot, plant your hands, send your left leg high to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. Maybe you stay here, or flip dog, come to the outside edge of the right foot, lift the right shoulder as you plant your left foot behind you, and then twist open, lift through the heart, kind of pump the shoulder blades onto the back of the ribs. Slowly unwind, ground your left hand, reach your left leg high, and ground your left foot next to the right. Come to a child's pose. Sorry about that. We got the number one fan of me, blocking the screen. So from your child's pose, roll your forehead side to side. Take a few deep breaths. And got one more pose with a little bit of work today. So start to come up to a forearm tabletop. You can use your block and place your block in between your hands and squeeze the block. You can also use your block, like your thumb and your pointer finger, as an L, or just squeeze the block with your hands. Drive your knees into the mat, push them away, tuck your toes, elevate your shoulders up by your ears, melt your heart so you're finding a back bend, and then dolphin, hips come high. Walk your feet in as much as you would like, and you'll notice if you walk in too much, the shoulders are going to try to pass the elbows. That doesn't feel good. So you want to walk in just enough where you can still press your shoulder blades onto the back of the ribs and melt your heart. And breathe. If this feels really good, you complete with exploring, reaching your right leg up, spiking really high onto the left toes. Feel the weight come forward. And then ground your right foot. Maybe you reach your left leg up, spiking really high into the right toes, and grounding the foot. Another full cycle of breath here. And release Balasana, child's pose. Bend the needle, weave your left arm through the right, a little shoulder stretch. And come back through center, second side. Weave the opposite arm through, shoulder stretch. Come back through center and make your way Onto your back, find a supine position. Little mini Shavasana shape. The work here is done. We are winding down from here. Start by bending your knees. Reach your right leg high to the sky and interlace your hands around your right thigh. Stretch your left leg out long on your mat. Press your left thigh bone down. From the pelvis, expand out long through the legs, out through your heels. It may feel nice to do some big circles with your right toes, or what will be a little bit more challenging is if you practice doing like letters with your ankle rather than just circles. You could be going through the alphabet. It could be your best friend's name, your pet's name. Just notice how that lands for you in your ankle if you're taking that option. Now, begin to walk your hands up the back of the calf. Lift your shoulder blades off of the mat and bow forehead towards shin. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, release your shoulder blades down. Release the right leg all the way down to the left, second side. Notice if the right leg feels longer. Reach the left leg up. Interlace your hands around your left thigh. Sometimes it takes a moment of finding what balance feels like in our body to really truly know what it feels like to be out of balance. That's why presence is so important. You know, we talk a lot about stress management in modern day culture, and I think that one of the issues with stress management is that if we're stressed all the time, then we don't really know what it is like to be highly stressed if we're functioning from that state all the time. Continue to do your letters. If you haven't started, explore a few different letters by creating movements with the ankle. But yeah, I mean, to have a baseline is challenging if we aren't ever at that baseline. So in the practice of yoga, it can help us remind us what it feels like to be in balance as kind of like a baseline. Take a full breath here. And begin to walk the hands up the back of the calf. Elevate your shoulders around, bow the head towards the shin. And slowly release your left leg to meet the right, maybe landing and feeling equally as long. Pull your knees in. Give yourself a little squeeze. Happy baby, you can do the prep by holding your knees. Encourage your sacrum down towards the earth. Pull your lumbar spine up and in. You can grab for your thighs, ankles, or feet. Wherever you choose, maybe you hold a static posture, or maybe you choose to straighten out through both legs or rock a little side to side. Begin to pull your legs all the way back in, close the hips. Lift all the way up, one more big rounding through the spine. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, straighten your legs out long and your arms by your sides for a Shavasana shape. Inhale. Cleanse it out, HA. One more breath in. Hold the inhale at the top. Open mouth, HA, release. Take the next few moments, or if you have the time, about 5 minutes to rest and absorb the efforts from your practice today, the energy of the efforts.